If you've been keeping even one eye on this Eagles offseason, you already know it hasn't been the kind of quiet summer where veterans can just coast into September. This front office and coaching staff have been busy making moves, tweaking depth charts, and sending very loud, very clear messages to certain players that nothing is promised. And if we're being honest, one of the clearest, most obvious warning shots came in the form of a trade, a move that shook up the cornerback competition and made a lot of fans, myself included, raise an eyebrow. I'm talking about the arrival of Bennett. On paper, it's a simple transaction. Philadelphia acquires a young, speedy corner with a proven track record of holding his own as a rookie in this league. But in reality, the timing says more than the transaction sheet ever could. You don't make this type of trade just weeks before the regular season unless you're looking at your current depth chart and thinking, we can do better. That's not speculation. That's just how this business works. And when I saw the move, my immediate thought was that certain corners, guys who were already under the microscope, just felt the heat turn up to full blast. Adoree Jackson is at the center of that conversation. Now, I'm not here to tell you he's a bad player. He's had moments in this league where his athleticism and instincts flashed in a way that made you understand why he was once a first-round pick. But here's the truth. He didn't come to Philly as a franchise cornerstone. He arrived on a short-term, low-cost veteran deal. No big guarantees, no massive dead cap hit if the team decides to move on. In the NFL, that kind of contract is basically a show-us arrangement. You earn your spot every single day, and if you don't, the team has no reason to keep you around. When you layer in the Bennett trade, the writing starts to appear. On the wall, Bennett isn't just some practice squad flyer. He's a player the Eagles clearly like. A lot. A fourth-round pick who didn't just make a roster as a rookie, but actually earned a starting role. A guy with legitimate 4.3 speed who's still on that inexpensive rookie contract, which is exactly the kind of profile the Eagles front office drools over. He checks every box for what this team wants in their long-term build. Young, fast, cost-controlled, and with upside to spare. And let's be real, you don't go get a guy like that unless you plan to give him a serious, legitimate shot at starting reps. And that's the part that really makes you think about where Adoree stands. If he were dominating in camp, locking up receivers left and right, making plays in preseason games, there's no way the Eagles would feel the need to make a move like this. The fact that they did tells you that the competition between Jackson, Kaylee Ringo, and the other young corners hasn't produced a runaway winner. And in a battle like that, the player with the higher ceiling, the lower price tag, and the longer runway for development often wins out, especially in a season where the franchise has already made it clear they're willing to go young on our defense. And that's another key point here, the youth movement. This isn't just some random talking point. It's an actual roster-building philosophy that's shaping the Eagles' decisions in real time. Look across this defense and you'll see it. Young corners, young safeties, young linebackers, all on rookie deals or cheap second contracts. The idea is simple. Build a defense that's fast, hungry, and financially flexible so you can spend big where it really counts, like locking up elite offensive talent. In that context, keeping a veteran like Jackson, who isn't playing at a Pro Bowl level and doesn't offer much beyond experience, starts to feel like a luxury that might not be willing to afford. And then there's Vic Fangio. The defensive coordinator has been around this league long enough to recognize talent, but he's also not the type to sugarcoat things. From the moment Jackson arrived, Fangio's public comments have been, let's call him lukewarm. He's mentioned Jackson's background, sure, but there's been no over-the-top praise, no this is our guy type of statement. In fact, he's admitted that bringing Jackson in wasn't really his decision. It came from upstairs, from this front office. For a veteran trying to earn a spot, that's not exactly the warmest welcome. It means you're starting from a place where the coach isn't already sold on you, and now you've got to prove yourself in a room where the organization is clearly excited about other players. If you really want to dig into why Bennett's arrival is such a big deal, look at the specifics. Bennett is the kind of corner you can plug in opposite Quinion Mitchell and feel like you got two young bookends who can grow together. Mitchell is already looking like he's going to be a star. A true lockdown guy if his development continues. Pairing him with Bennett gives you speed on both sides, the ability to play aggressive man coverage, and the flexibility to roll different looks without worrying about matchups as much. That's a defensive coordinator's dream. And it's something that pushes a player like Jackson further down the pecking order. And we can't ignore the performance factor. Jackson's showing against Cincinnati in the preseason didn't exactly inspire confidence. He wasn't alone. Ringo also had his struggles, especially trying to contain Jamar Chase, which granted is no easy assignment for anyone. But this league doesn't hand out mulligans just because the guy across from you is elite. The Eagles' schedule this year is brutal, packed with high-powered passing attacks and top-tier receivers. If your corners can't match up and make plays, you're going to get exposed and the team knows it. That's why they can't afford to just hope Jackson turns a corner. They need to see it now. There's also an under-the-radar name that could shake things up even more, Eli Ricks. He's not a household name yet, but he's shown flashes that make you wonder if the Eagles might prefer his upside to Jackson's experience. Ricks played well in stretches against Cincinnati, and his early years in the league have shown enough promise that the coaching staff might be willing to bet on his growth. And let's not forget, he's dirt cheap as a former undrafted free agent. When you're making tough roster decisions, that kind of contract is a major tiebreaker. So here's the decision the Eagles could be staring at. Do you keep a veteran corner whose best days might already be behind him? Or do you go with a younger player who still has room to grow and costs next to nothing? If you've been following how this front office operates, you already know which way that coin tends to flip. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if they choose the youth. That's the reality of the NFL. It's not always about what you've done. It's about what you can still do and how much it's going to cost to get it. Jackson is a known quantity. The Eagles know exactly what he is at this stage of his career. The question is, does that version of Adoree Jackson fit into their long-term vision? Or are they ready to roll the dice on a guy like Bennett, who might make more mistakes in the short term but could end up being a bigger asset down the line? And when you look at the contract math, the decision gets even easier. Jackson's dead cap hit is barely over $1 million. In a league where teams regularly eat far larger amounts just to move on from players, that's pocket change. If they decide to cut him, it's not going to wreck their books or force them to make other sacrifices. That's the kind of situation where a front office can be ruthless, and if you've watched Howie Roseman operate, you know he's not afraid to make those calls. Now, I know some people will point to Jackson's leadership, his experience, the idea that you need veteran voices in a young secondary. And that's not nothing. Having guys who've been through the battles who can keep a locker room steady does matter. But here's the thing, leadership is a lot more valuable when it comes from a player who's on the field making plays. If you're a leader who's not producing, your influence starts to fade. Younger players take their cues from the guys who are impacting games, not just talking in meetings. If Jackson wants to be that leader, he's going to have to show it between the lines. And right now, the clock is ticking. The bottom line is this. The Bennett trade wasn't just about adding another body to the secondary. It was a clear, deliberate signal that the Eagles aren't satisfied with what they've seen so far. It put players like Jackson, and to some extent Ringo, on notice. If they want to stick around, they're going to have to step it up because the team has other options and they're not afraid to use them. If Adoree Jackson is feeling the pressure, Kaylee Ringo might be living in an even stranger space. A place where the organization clearly invested in you, believes in your raw tools, but is also staring at the reality that your development hasn't been the straight upward climb everyone hoped for. And the truth is, when a team starts making moves like the Bennett trade, it's not just about the older guys. Sometimes it's a not so subtle reminder to the younger players too, that his league doesn't wait around for you to figure it out. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy, share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. In a move that has sent shockwaves through the NFL community and sparked intense speculation among fans and analysts alike, the Philadelphia Eagles have reportedly secured a deal for none other than Josh Allen, the star quarterback of the Buffalo Bills. This development, still surrounded by rumors and whispers in the corridors of the league, is said to be one of the most surprising and talked about potential trades in recent memory. Josh Allen, known for his dynamic playmaking ability, powerful arm, and leadership qualities, has been the face of the Bills' resurgence in recent years. His possible arrival in Philadelphia could signal a seismic shift in the balance of power within the NFC East and perhaps the entire league. While neither team has confirmed the deal officially, sources close to the negotiations have hinted that the Eagles see Allen as the missing piece to elevate their franchise into championship contention. The Eagles, historically known for their aggressive moves in the market and willingness to shake things up, might be setting the stage for a new era with this bold and unexpected maneuver. Fans of both teams are anxiously awaiting further news. While experts are already debating the implications of such a blockbuster acquisition, this rumor alone has dominated headlines and social media chatter, fueling a frenzy of anticipation and speculation about the NFL's upcoming season. The prospect of Josh Allen joining the Eagles has generated immense excitement, but also a fair share of skepticism among pundits and fans alike. Allen's impressive stats, including his ability to throw deep passes with precision and scramble effectively under pressure, make him a prized asset for any team looking to build a dynamic offense. Philadelphia's current quarterback situation has been a subject of debate, with some questioning if the team's recent performances meet championship aspirations. By potentially bringing Allen into the fold, the Eagles could be addressing a long-standing need for elite quarterback talent capable of consistently delivering under high stakes. However, questions remain regarding the logistics of such a trade, including what the Bills would demand in return and how the Eagles would restructure their roster to accommodate Allen's style of play. The ripple effects of this deal could extend far beyond the Eagles and Bills, influencing other teams' strategies as they respond to this major shakeup. Speculation is rife about how this might impact contract negotiations, salary caps, and draft picks in the coming months. This rumor, whether it materializes or not, has already shifted the conversation around the NFL's off-season dynamics, emphasizing the high-stakes nature of modern football business. Analyzing the potential fit of Josh Allen with the Philadelphia Eagles reveals intriguing possibilities and challenges that could shape the team's future trajectory. Allen's leadership on the field, combined with his dual threat capabilities as a passer and runner, aligns with the Eagles' offensive philosophy that values versatility and creativity. The team's coaching staff, known for adapting their schemes to maximize player strengths, might find Allen's presence a game-changing asset. On the other hand, integrating a high-profile quarterback midstream is rarely seamless, raising questions about team chemistry and offensive cohesion. The Eagles' receiving core, offensive line, and play-calling strategies would likely undergo adjustments to complement Allen's style, which differs from their previous quarterbacks. The potential impact on the locker room atmosphere is also a topic of heated discussion as veteran players and emerging talents react to this high-profile acquisition. Additionally, the ripple effect on the Bills' roster and morale cannot be underestimated, with Allen's departure potentially creating a leadership vacuum and forcing Buffalo to rethink their long-term plans. This swirling mix of excitement and uncertainty fuels the ongoing rumor mill, with insiders closely monitoring developments that could redefine the NFL landscape. The sports media's intense focus on every detail further amplifies the buzz, making this rumored trade a centerpiece of off-season conversation. Financial considerations and contract negotiations are at the heart of the swirling rumors about Josh Allen's potential move to the Eagles. Allen's current contract with the Bills is substantial, reflecting his status as one of the league's elite quarterbacks, and any trade would necessitate complex financial maneuvering. The Eagles would need to balance their salary cap while offering Allen a deal that reflects his value and secures his commitment to the franchise. Conversely, the Bills would likely seek significant compensation, whether in draft picks, players, or a combination, to part ways with their star quarterback. These negotiations are delicate as both teams weigh immediate gains against long-term strategic goals. The broader NFL market is watching closely, with rival teams potentially adjusting their own contract strategies in response to this blockbuster. Rumor. Media speculation about possible contract structures, incentives, and extensions has added layers of intrigue to the story. For fans, the financial complexity behind the scenes adds a new dimension to the excitement and uncertainty surrounding this rumored blockbuster trade. As the offseason unfolds, The interplay between athletic ambition and fiscal realities continues to dominate headlines, underscoring the high stakes involved in such a potentially transformative NFL transaction, beyond the immediate football implications. The rumored acquisition of Josh Allen by the Philadelphia Eagles could have far-reaching effects on fan engagement, merchandise sales, and the overall culture of both franchises. Allen's star power and charismatic personality have already earned him a massive following, and his arrival in Philadelphia might ignite a surge of enthusiasm among Eagles supporters eager for a new era of success. This buzz could translate into increased ticket sales, higher television ratings, and a rejuvenated fan base hungry for championships. Meanwhile, the Buffalo Bills could face a challenging period of transition as fans come to terms with the possible loss of their franchise icon. The cultural impact within the league could be significant as well, as this rumored move might inspire other teams to pursue bold roster changes in pursuit of glory. The social media landscape is already alive with passionate debates, memes, and predictions reflecting the emotional investment of football fans nationwide. Sports commentators are weighing in on how this potential trade might alter the identity of the Eagles and Bills, with some suggesting it could redefine team legacies for years to come. Whether the rumor materializes or remains just that, the buzz around Josh Allen and the Eagles has undeniably energized the NFL offseason, promising a dramatic build-up to the next chapter in professional football. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.